Thomas Patrick Ward, tuning in the Sport and Icons.
So Thomas Patrick Ward took on Thomas Essomba. Of course, this was on Sky Sports tonight. Now, of course, I'm watching this one with great interest. I know Tommy Ward and spoke to him many, many times. And for me, he will be world champion, no doubt. Now, Tommy Ward, he come into this fight 29-0. And Thomas Essomba, he's been the more active fighter, I think it's fair to say, because only a couple of weeks ago he was fighting Sonny Edwards, where he went the distance with Sonny Edwards. Thomas Patrick Ward has had a fight since way before lockdown. So my fears coming into this fight was inactivity versus activity. Now, at the same time though, Tommy Ward, for me, I thought that he was going to go in there and just dominate Essomba. I thought that maybe he's going to be a bit too big. But as this fight was playing out, I could see that Essomba, being the shorter guy, was actually his advantage, because he can get down even lower, which meant that Tommy, he couldn't use the skills that he's very, very known for and the speed that he's known for, because Essomba, faster hands, faster feet. Now, Thomas Essomba, I didn't know this coming into this fight. It wasn't until my very good friend Mark Clazel, who of course is a boxing manager and trainer and of course former professional fighter up here in the Northeast, he said that Thomas Essomba was actually managed by Phil Jeffries, again another very good friend of mine in Jaffa, and he was managed by him for a great number of years. So that's a interesting one from the point of view of Phil Jeffries, where obviously he knows both of these fighters very, very well. But of course, Essomba, he's moved down further south, is it Wolverhampton, I believe. Now, Tommy, as I said, I've seen Tommy fight many, many times. In fact, he's one of my favourite fighters. And really, really nice guy. Had him on the channel a couple of times, spoke with him countless times. We text each other once in a while. But I'm always going to be biased coming into this fight anyway. So maybe my bias has got a little bit better of me. Now, there were some scary moments, especially around number 4. I thought that Essomba caught Tommy with one hell of a shot, and it looked like Tommy was wobbled in that one. I don't know if he was wobbled, maybe he stumbled, I don't know what it was, but he did look a little bit distressed, and I thought, oh no, we don't need this one at all. But I think the inactivity of Tommy Ward due to the activity of Essomba, that's pretty much how this fight was playing out. Now, bear in mind that these guys, they know each other very, very well anyway. These guys have sparred countless times. So they know each other very, very well. So they know what each other's power is. They know what each other's traits are and what have you. So when it comes to fight night, a lot of the things that you do in training and this, that, and the other, when you know that person in the opposite corner, you tend to just forget about guard. You forget about defense. And I think maybe that's what Tommy was guilty of in this fight, which is why some pretty big shots got through on Tommy, I thought. And Essomba, he done very, very well by landing those shots. But of course, he was taking some pretty big punches himself. Now, this fight, it did get stopped. Got stopped in round number 8, or I should say after 8 rounds, because of a accidental clash of heads, which happened in round number 6. And it was one hell of a cut above the left eye of Tommy Ward. And I thought that they were going to stop it at the end of the 6th. They didn't. And I thought that they were going to do the same in like the following round. That. But the thing is, though, it was a very, very bad cut. I mean, it was an accidental clash of heads, which is why it actually went to the scorecards, which for me was a little bit dodgy, because I always felt that Tommy, he was just starting to get into this fight, and he was going to take the remaining rounds. That's what I thought like Tommy was going to do, and coast to a very clear points victory. But of course, stopping it round number 8, I'm sat there going, oh no, oh God, I hope he gets a decision, and I believe that he should get the decision. And of course, when they read out the scorecards, it's like 2 of the judges had it quite wide. One in favour of Tommy and one in favour of Essomba. So, I mean, how did 2 judges have it so wide, opposite ends? I'll never know. But of course, the 3rd judge had it a draw. So officially, it's a draw. So Tommy has the first blemish on his record, if you can call it a blemish. It's a draw, isn't a draw, it's better than a loss. That's how I see it. And hopefully I'll catch up with him in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, he's going to need a bit of recuperation time after this fight, because it wasn't just the left eyebrow, obviously the blood and everything coming down, but it wasn't just that. It was the fact that a few rounds earlier, he got his, on his right temple, was bleeding quite a bit as well. So Tommy, he's went through the war in this one. But I think the most meaningful shots were coming from Essomba, but the work and I think Tommy landed more shots than Essomba. Now, I know that for those of you who watched this fight, some of you will agree with me, some of you will disagree with me, some of you say that a draw is a fair result. For me, I had it by Tommy by about a round or two. I thought that he was, I don't say in control of this fight, because he certainly wasn't in control of this fight, but I think that he did enough to get the decision. But of course, listen, there were some pretty close rounds in that one, so they could have went either way. They really could have done. And maybe that's why the judges, or two of the judges, had it so wide apart. But is a draw a fair result? I mean, arguably it's a fair result. And to be honest with you, I'll take that in case of a loss, because the commentators, they weren't too confident that Tommy was going to get that win, which is maybe what like panicked me a little bit, because up until that point, I felt confident that Tommy was just about winning this fight, not dominating it, but just about winning it. So of course, when they stop it and the way that the commentators are talking, I'm like, oh no, I'm actually doubting myself. So anyway, that is the official result. Thomas Patrick Ward versus Thomas Essomba gets stopped after 8 rounds due to an accidental clash of heads, and the fight gets awarded a draw. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all in the next video.